Somerset fought hard to restore parity with Nottinghamshire on the second day of their LV County Championship match at Taunton, a day on which they were initially helped by Alphonso Thomas, who bagged his first fifer of the season. A scintillating 188-run partnership in just 33 overs had put Notts on top at the end of day one, but that stand for the sixth wicket was ended in the third over of the second morning as Chris Reed, who'd added just one to his overnight 95, nicked Thomas behind. New man Peter Siddle was immediately dropped by Marcus Trescothick, and the Australian tried to make the most of his let-off. Nottinghamshire's dream, having started the day on 382 for 5, would have been to get to 500, but they found themselves on 408 for 7 when Thomas struck for a third time in the innings by having Siddle caught by Johan Myberg at point. With the loss of those wickets, Samit Patel, who resumed his innings on 116, was not able to be as fluent as he had been on the previous day. This was the pick of his shots on the second morning. He was out next ball for 132 as Thomas struck yet again, finding just enough movement to find the edge of Patel's bat, Craig Kieswetter doing the rest. Notts were on the slide, and when Thomas bowled Jake Ball, he'd had a 5-wicket haul for the 22nd time in his fine career. It left the visitors on 431 for 9, 6 balls after the bonus point scoring overs were up. An in-swinging Yorker from Lewis Gregory then wrapped things up as Andy Carter lost 2 of his stumps, with Thomas taking 5 for 127 and Gregory 4 for 80. Nottinghamshire were all out for 440. It was far fewer than they would have hoped for, and their poor morning continued when Trescothick was dropped by Stephen Mullaney in Ajmal Shahzad's first over of the summer. It was not an easy chance though. Trescothick and Chris Jones survived until lunch, and after the break, the Somerset captain enjoyed himself against Siddle. This shot went for 6. Siddle had more success against Jones as he hit the top of the batsman's off stump to end a promising opening partnership of 58. Siddle and the entire Notts team then thought they had Nick Compton caught at the wicket on naught. They could hardly believe it when the umpire Neil Bainton failed to raise his finger. Compton is not a man any fielding side want to see hanging around for too long, and the decision would have pumped up the visitors a bit. Compton reacted by playing some classy shots as he kept Somerset going in their initial pursuit of a score of 291 to avoid being asked to follow on. That didn't really look on the cards on this pitch, with Trescothick finding his form following his excellent 100 in the win over Sussex in Hove last week. Nottinghamshire were not helped either by an injury to Jake Ball after bowling just 2 overs. Having struggled for some while for runs, Trescothick now added another 50 to his collection, getting there with his 9th 4 to go with his 1-6. It had taken him exactly 100 balls to reach, and now, back on song, Nottinghamshire knew the importance of his wicket, one which is always celebrated by an opposing team. Instead, Compton was the next man to perish, edging a cut off Mullaney to the solitary slipper Ricky Vessels. Compton was out for 25 at 105 for 2. It still looked to be a good pitch to bat on, and there was no help for Patel's spinners. Alvaro Peterson went after him, striking him for 2 sixes in the same over. Trescothick was also looking solid and seemingly set for his second 100 in 2 innings, having waited for more than a season for one. However, Siddle reappeared to catch the opener's edge. This time the finger was raised and Trescothick was on his way for 72 at 153 for 3. Peterson was looking good though, and he and James Hildreth added 27 more runs for the 4th wicket. Only for Hildreth to go LBW to Carter, trying to work a straight ball to leg. Nottinghamshire now certainly had the edge, and with more than an hour left in the day, they knew that a couple more wickets before the close would put them securely on top. They also would have known that Somerset's plans would have been to get past their first innings score to add some pressure on the Notts batsmen on the last day. Wickets now would have prevented them from doing that perhaps, but no wickets were forthcoming as Peterson and Kieswetter played smartly. Peterson went past a 50 as he and his partner put on a stand of 57 runs to just about balance this game up once more. One side needs to grab the initiative on the penultimate day. Somerset will start that on 237 for 4, with Peterson on 62 and Kieswetter on 32. And if they keep going, then Notts may have to wait longer for their first win on this ground since 1985. Somerset are currently still 203 runs behind, though, in what has been an even contest to date between two good teams.